Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I think I'm ready. Hello, welcome to my channel. Yeah, if you can tell by my handle, Gladly Made Jewelry, I am here to document my jewelry making journey, more specifically in metalsmithing. So yeah, let me kind of gather all my thoughts and see where I go from here. Okay, so I guess I should start with introductions. My name is Gladys. Is this thing? Okay, I'm just making sure it's not blinking. My name is Gladys. I am a 31-year-old here in the Pacific Northwest, more specifically Portland area. I am a nurse of a couple years, and I am here to kind of just document my metalsmithing journey, kind of like I said earlier, and seeing where I'm at now, seeing how I grow, and just sharing that with the world, which I think would be wonderful. And my inspiration for this has since I've been my tarot maid and the art of metalsmithing, more specifically them, because with Love Jewelry also. So shout out to you guys. I've been inspired by them because one of the first things they tell you from their journey is that they are self-taught. And that's kind of what allowed me to believe that I can do this by myself. So getting into the whole journey of it all and who I am as a person, my name is Gladys again, and I am a crafter. I recently had I had a crafting page. I even was selling things on Etsy, and I'll get into that too, but I am a crafter through and through. I've enjoyed it since I was just like since I was a little tiny little thing, and I quite enjoyed it. I always liked the pipe cleaner stuff, the glitter. I love glitter, the color, the paints and the construction paper and the cutting, and since I was a kid, okay? And then my mom would get me these cute little, those little kid jewelry making kits. It has the string and the beads and the letters and the thing. I had that, so she would buy me those things. And I remember one time I was pretty little. I was making stuff, and I was like selling things for like $1. And I was just like, get your bracelet for $1. Da, 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 da. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure this thing doesn't get all rustled. Okay, anyways, so that's kind of the gist of, well, there's a lot more to me, but as far as my love for crafting and art, that's where it started. So yeah, how I got started into metalsmithing, so maybe we can get into that, is I started crafting when I was in nursing school. I was a caregiver in nursing school, and during the COVID times, we all went to just regular, not regular, it's not regular. We went to, what am I trying to say? Online classes. And online classes were fun because it allowed me to not drive to and fro. I didn't have to spend 20 minutes driving back, getting settled in home, you know all the little things it takes to get back from someone. So I was a nursing student, and I've just started crafting more. I had my crochet things with me. That was something I had with me. It's easy to take in backpacks, and I've started making like little amigurumis, just cute. Maybe I can insert some of my designs here. And one time my brother and we all watch. I'm not crazy anime fan. I love anime. I love the stories. But my brother has a favorite anime, and I've actually cosplayed. Maybe I can show you a cosplay. And I decided to crochet those characters, sorry. And that was a lot of fun. So I started making more things like that. And then I got more into like painting, and I was just in my artsy era. I was just making everything. And then I was online. I was on Instagram, and I started seeing people they were making clay jewelry. But I don't know, I was thinking, I don't want to get into clay. Like, I don't want to get into jewelry making with clay. I don't know. It just wasn't, it didn't call to me. But one day, my friend's cousin was out here and she was just like, you should make jewelry. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it. So I got the clay and I remember I had foil, I had clay, I had no tools, so I used what I had in the house. I think I used like a cap from a oil spray. So I had a cap to make the circles. And what else did I have? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I did like, maybe I had a pick or something to make the hole in for the jewelry holes. I made these cute little earrings, and I think I have a picture of it somewhere that I can post somewhere if I can get this editing thing done. So I did that, and I really enjoyed it. I was like, oh, actually, I like this. I can wear this. And it took me back to when I was younger and I would make jewelry and I enjoyed making jewelry. And I've always loved wearing jewelry. I have 2 pieces here. I always wear earrings. I've had, earrings since I was a baby. So I was like, why not? Let me try it. And I did. And I did it for a couple years. And I actually had my craft page. I had an Etsy. I had an Etsy. And I truly, truly enjoyed it. I then, I did make a good amount of sales though. And I was happy to know that it's still kind of heartwarming to me to know that somebody would buy the stuff that I made, like with my bare hands. That's still so cool. How I can take one little piece and make it into this crazy, intricate, detailed piece of earring, or just this basic one, fine. And also I did a couple markets, and I remember I did a market here in Portland area. It's called Unique Markets. They had a holiday one, and at that time I was also playing with resin. Resin was fun, and with resin I made hair clips. And I think I made some jewelry things too, but I was mostly making hair clips with those, and I can show maybe editing Gladys. So I was making those, and then I got a sewing machine, and it was pretty much like a teeny tiny little boutique. I wasn't focused on jewelry making. I was focused on accessories, and I was like, I like to sew. I love it, actually. It's kind of fun. I was able to practice scrunchies, and scrunchies were fun too. So I made some scrunchies, and I do this because it's my cue to put the picture in here somewhere. So I did some scrunchies, I did hair clips, I did bad reels because I'm a nurse. Earrings, obviously, and I did resin necklaces too. Those were cute. So it was like a bezel, an open back bezel, and I would put little resin designs in there with flowers. So I had this cute little boutique booth. I would say it wasn't strict jewelry, though I had mostly earrings and jewelry, fine things. And it went so great. I was so happy. I was there it was a 2-day event, and there were so many people. It was a holiday market, and it kind of like kept me going for a little while longer, maybe another year or so. It kept me going, and I was so happy that, again, people want to wear my things, what I made with my bare hands. An idea that popped into my head either the night previously or the night of, or whatever it was, went from this thing to this beautiful, I don't know. I kind of stopped doing that. I slowed down a little bit. I still make things. I still have an Etsy shop, but I'm kind of in the middle of revamping because I started metalsmithing. But In the winter of 2023, I went off to travel nursing for a little bit. I didn't do it very long. I did it for less than a year. And obviously I couldn't craft and do any of my things like that. So I closed my shop for a while I was out doing that. And yeah, I came back and I just stopped. I didn't completely stop, like I said. I just didn't really make collections anymore. I didn't launch things. I was just making little things here and there. I still had my badge reels and my hair clips, and those were doing really well. So I kept that listing up, but I kept some other little earrings up, and I just kind of just slowed down. Didn't really make anything. I lost my inspiration. I didn't know where to go. I found myself. Okay, well, here's the other thing is I made these pieces and I found them so pretty, so cute, but I never wore them because I've never been like, I've always been a gold girly. I've always been a gold girly. I love gold medal. I'm starting to love silver medal. I've always enjoyed that. And every time I would go to markets, I always bought rings and necklaces and earrings that were gold and metal. And I said, I wish I could make this stuff. And it never clicked that I could. It's just like, I wish I could make this stuff. This would be cool. This is the type of stuff I would personally want to make and sell and wear. And with the clay, I only wanted to make it and, share it with the community. I never really wore my pieces. All I really wanted to wear were my gold hoops, my gold hoopies, my cute little dangles, my basic necklaces, my basic rings, some not so basic, but yeah, that's kind of where, if we rewind to this year, 2020, so it was a whole year of kind of like, maybe a year and a half of almost nothing. I was still making little things here and there. I was doing my orders, and it wasn't until recently that I was at work one night. I'm a night shift. I was at work one night and I was like, I kind of want to make gold jewelry. Like, that's what I want to make. And also, the other reason I started grafting more is because I got an apartment that has this office in it. And that office was going to be my craft gaming room. So I was kind of pushing myself to keep crafting because it's a love of mine. And so I one night was thinking, like, I want to make this jewelry. I want to make gold jewelry. I want to make silver jewelry. I'm wondering if I could do it. And I went on YouTube, a little bit of downtime. And that's where I stumbled upon my Tara Maid, and it was like her journey, and one of her first videos was how she went from clay making to self-teaching herself how to metalsmith, and how she is a wax carver, jewelerist. I don't know how to say it, but now she's into wax carving, and all these techniques she's learned until she got into wax carving, which is something I think I would just absolutely love. So I've been practicing, but either way. And it kind of became a reality for me. I said, wait, I can do this. I can get the things. There's in the art of metalsmithing too. So I went through this YouTube, I was going through all her videos. And I went through the art of metalsmithing, who was also self-taught. And I said, I can do this. And I went on Amazon. I'm sorry for those who don't like Amazon. I went on Amazon and I purchased a starter kit. And I purchased some wire, and it was going to take a while for it to get here. So during the 2 weeks that it took for my things to get here, I was just YouTubing, reading into it, just looking at all the videos I could. And here I was thinking, I was like, I'm ready. When everything got here, I got so excited. And I remember getting a piece of wire, and I got the little, the steel plate thing. I forgot what it's called. Sorry, still learning. And my hammer. And I just grabbed the end of the metal and I just started hammering because I was so excited. And I was like, wow. I just hammered a piece. It went from like round to flat. And I was like, wow. And I still have the piece, actually. I was going to use it to one of my pieces. But yes, I got started. I even got the book called the... Oh, crap. I forgot what the book was called. But I can put it in a link or something. And then I'm tired. Oh, coffee. Got a cute little coffee mug. My brother's supposed to get here. We're going to the gym, and it is Memorial Day weekend. So happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. It is officially starting to get sunnier here in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, besides that, okay, back on track. So I got everything and then I started making things and I got so excited. I remember starting to solder and I remember everybody saying, you gotta make the ends go flat. You gotta make them so flush, so tight. Like you have to do that. And I said, I got it. And I remember trying to solder my first piece and it wouldn't solder and it wouldn't solder and it wouldn't solder. And I failed my first day. I was just thinking, oh my God, I can't do this. What am I thinking? Like, this is so difficult. And that day I was like, okay, I went over to my mom's and I was like, I told my brother, I was like, hey, look, I started, but it's so hard. Like, I can't seem to solder a piece. And online, everybody's just like so pro. They just heat, it melts, right? And I couldn't do that. And I was like, why can't I do that? I've seen all the videos. I've read all about it. I flushed. The settings are here. And I was given some confidence, and my brother and my boyfriend Spencer, they were saying, this is the first day. You're not gonna get something on the first day. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm probably not. I think I was just a little overconfident. I was like, I got this. I researched it. I did all the things, whatever. I'm gonna get this thing. But it took me 3 days. And I remember the first piece that I finally soldered. I remember the technique too. And I remember getting the solder pig, lifting it, and I did the thing. It did the thing that everybody said it did. And all the videos I saw, and the solder went like this. And my brain went like, phew, I did it. And I got so happy. And it gave me hope. It gave me hope because although it took me a couple more tries to redo it again, it gave me hope that it's like, it's not me. I can do this. And so since then, I've gotten a lot better. I've just kept practicing. I was just making pieces. I was just soldering. Oh, when I started polishing, I practiced my polishing. So I've done a couple of pieces. Maybe I can pop them in there again. Excuse me. Maybe I can pop them in there again. But I've done a couple pieces and... Oh, Spencer. My boyfriend texted me. He went on a hike today. Okay. And I've just been practicing. I've been practicing with and it's so nice. I remember the first ring I made and I polished it and I wore it and then I was wearing it and I went to work and my work friends, they were asking me about it. I was like, look, I made this ring. Everybody's like, wow. And I was like, yeah, wow. Like, I did this. Because I hammered it and I made it textured. And then I've made a bezel now. And I don't know, it's just so exciting. I made these hoops yesterday. Oh, and then back to the soldering. I was so excited because there was these pieces. So I'm linking them like this, three links. And I put them all together. So none of them were soldered yet, but I put them all together. So there were 3 links. So I needed to solder 3 pieces. And I remember grabbing my torch. And this was yesterday. For me, today being what's today? May 26th. So I just grabbed my torch and I grabbed my solder pick and my paste and I heated up the piece. And I just remember being putting it, each piece, each piece, so quick, so easy. And it took me back to how it took me 3 days to solder one piece. And the first piece that I soldered wasn't even ring size. It was like a little, it was like a huge jump ring. It wasn't, maybe a baby ring. I have a picture somewhere. Yeah, so anyways, I went pew, 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 pew. And yeah, so it just, I'm just excited. I'm on, posting my things on Instagram. My Instagram is Gladly Made Jewelry, and this is my journey to making things with metalsmithing. So anyways, welcome to my channel. I hope you like this. I ramble a lot. I talk a lot. And you can skip whatever. I skip too when I'm looking back at these. But the whole gist of it is I went from crafting random things with all different media and mediums. I went from crafting different things from all different mediums to focusing on metalsmithing. I still craft other things like I have paints and I have coloring books and I make different things, but those are like fun activities with my friends now. And I'm focusing on just starting my little business again, starting and sharing what I make to the public. And I'm so excited. I kind of want to keep every single piece. I'm just, but I'm excited to share it with everybody. So yeah, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you guys have a great day. Okay, bye.